Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdette's NewsStand, and I haven't really talked about the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case in a while. There hasn't been too much updates, and I haven't been able to push out as much content lately. Well, fortunately, we do have some news. Now, we're going to talk about the news group, The Sun case that is set to begin July 7th. So, literally just a week at this point. And, Johnny Depp is facing some setbacks. Mild setbacks, but setbacks nonetheless. And that is nobody's fault but his own, unfortunately. And in a case like this, I think this was really silly to do. And the reason why I say that is because it's not exactly an unknown fact that Johnny Depp, like most celebrities, do drugs. Like, these aren't things that we didn't assume anyways. We know he's had his addictions with alcohol, and we know that he has had issues with drugs. Regardless of that fact, that doesn't mean he is a wife beater. And to not disclose, and we're going to talk specifically what it is about, facts pertaining to the case, because you didn't want these text messages necessarily heard, is kind of silly. So, we have, of course, Johnny Depp having to prove in this case, when The Sun came out and called him a wife beater, that he was not. But he failed to disclose certain text messages discussing his alleged drug use to the defense attorney for the UK tabloid, for The Sun. A decision that could potentially lead to the dismissal of his case. And that's why I'm saying this was something very silly to do, in my opinion, because it's not, just because you do party drugs doesn't make you a wife beater. And I get he was trying to protect his persona. He was trying to protect his public image. I get all of that. But in this case, it's better to be safe than sorry. So this is actually from over at Bounding Into Comics. They kind of do a nice summary of it. It says Depp is suing the Sun executive editor Dan Wootton, the Sun's publisher for news group newspapers, over the 2008 article where they called, him a wife beater. And obviously, we know now those allegations to be almost completely false. Now, of course, there is stuff that we don't know. We weren't there. We weren't a fly on the wall. But I would venture to guess that these are not true. That these are just another case of a weaponized Me Too case where Amber decided that she wanted to get ahead in her career. And that's exactly what she did. But on June 29th, UK High Court Judge Andrew Nicol found that Depp had been in violation of the previous court order, which required Johnny Depp to provide the Sun's defense team with all documents related to his concurrent defamation lawsuit with Amber Heard. Well, he didn't do so. So, according to the Sun's lawyer, Depp failed to provide the defense team with text messages and exchanges between himself and who he had with an assistant. And we've talked about this assistant previously on this channel. It's been a while. But, his assistant treated him pretty well, at least in my opinion. So, the text refers to happy pills and white stuff. And these were sent in February and March of 2015, when before his vacation to Australia with Amber Heard. I don't see why these are an issue. I really don't. I don't think he did anything wrong. He is human, for one. Not only that, but he is he's known to dabble in party drugs, I guess is the best way to say it. Most people are, right? Most people are at some point in their life. So, the Sun's lawyer claims the texts are Depp asking the assistants in acquiring MDMA and other narcotics during a 2015 vacation in Australia taken with Heard. Now, here's the thing I would venture to say. MDMA is ecstasy, right? So we're talking about a party drug that is well known for having the exact opposite effects that Amber said he had on this trip, right? It doesn't make you angry. It doesn't make you mad. It doesn't make you violent. It makes you completely opposite. And it has amphetamine in it, which of course can, cause a little bit of aggression, but when, mixed with a party drug and done correctly, it's not going to cause those effects. Now, it does make sense that he was looking for MDMA, when it came to her saying that he was up for 3 days straight and stuff. So that makes sense. The amphetamine is going to keep you up, but you're also going to have those side effects that are more like, I want to touch and have sex with everything. And that's really what it comes down to. Those kind of drugs just don't make you feel like you want to beat somebody up. They just don't. So it said Heard claims to have been a victim of a 3-day ordeal of physical assaults at the hands of Depp while he was intoxicated on MDMA and alcohol. The whole premise behind this makes no sense. You shouldn't mix it with alcohol, but even so, it just kind of makes those effects more present. It brings down the effects of the amphetamine, so you're more likely to sleep. You're more likely to not have that aggression. Because alcohol is a depressant by nature. MDMA is an upper. The amphetamine in it, right? So it just doesn't make any sense that these two type of drugs mixed would cause this effect. So, a legal representative for the Sun, Adam Wolonsky, argued that the failure to disclose the text could put the Sun's right to a fair trial into jeopardy. Now, I call bullshit on that. Now, a couple text messages are not going to cause the Sun to not have a fair trial, especially now that, they've gotten them well over a week ahead of time. But what they're trying to do is just get it thrown out. That's all they're trying to do, because I don't think they believe they have a winning case here. So, in his ruling, Judge Nicole noted that his failure constituted a breach of the order, stating that the Australian drug texts were adverse to the claimant's pleaded case and or were supportive of the defendant's pleaded case. So, because they were on the defendant's side, they're saying this is unfair, right? It could cause a problem with a fair trial. So Judge Nicole did not immediately dismiss the case. So right now, it is all set to go, allowing Depp's lawyers an opportunity to present a case in support of the trial moving forward. And that's kind of where we're at this point. Will this move forward? I honestly believe so. I don't think this was smart at all in Johnny's legal team's statement here. But I do think this will move forward. Depp's legal representative in the case, David Sherborne, believes it would be wholly disproportionate to dismiss the lawsuit, stating that it is now the time for the defendants to have to prove what they published, right? And that's exactly it. They are innocent until proven guilty. I get all of that. But it is completely disproportionate to say that a few text messages, I don't even care if there was 100 text messages, should dismiss this case. Because what we're looking at here is the word wife beater in the Sun's original statement when it came to J.K. Rowling. So they have to prove in this case that Johnny Depp was a wife beater, but then in the same, these things work very, very different. Johnny Depp has to prove he never hurt Amber. So he has to prove he was not a wife beater. So he explained the central matter in the dispute in this proceedings is whether or not the claimant committed multiple acts of serious, unprovoked physical violence during his relationship with Amber Heard, causing her significant injuries and to be in fear for her life. So at this point, those text messages, unless they are about some sort of abuse, should not have any sort of real issue in this case as far as dropping it going forward. Now, had he took out text messages where he said to his assistant, I hit her in the face, of course, that would be a dismissal case. But when it has to do with drugs, I find it very, very silly. He added, it is now time for the defendants to have to prove what they publish. Exactly. It is on them. It is not on Johnny Depp. It is on them. He should and, will be innocent until proven guilty. So it says Sherborne also referenced James Franco and Elon Musk, saying, given that their case is that she was controlled and abused by the claimant and that she could not possibly have left him, she does not sit at all with the facts that she is having multiple affairs. Yes. So, barring a dismissal, we will see this happen July 7th. I will absolutely be covering this day by day. I am very interested. Months ago, almost 2 years ago, when we started talking about these cases. So, I definitely would like to see what kind of closure we're going to get toward that. So, I don't know. I'm very, very interested. Let me know what you guys think. If you think this is case for dismissal, or if you simply think this is, something just overlooked and done. Should have done it, but didn't. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreon and subscribe stars. You guys literally make this channel possible. Huge thank you to Cage the Mick, Robert Mick Twiz, Black Knight Fool, Brucey, Chris Z, David L, David Rafford, Jeffrey Allen Carnes, Mighty Balls, Mike Buckner, Maizen Barbosa, Ruskar, Ryan Decker, Robert Hoffman, and Doc Holliday. You guys are absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget on the way out to like as always if you enjoy the content and hit subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.